But I will now have the honor to invite on stage former Deputy Chief Justice Dikgang Moseneke. I need to make announcements apparently before you speak. I realize that your name Moseneke rhymes with Moseneke, so I wonder whether you are a Shangan hiding. You are a Shangan hiding, and we will out you today.
Professor Nico, he always called me Wanati. He always said to me, "You are a German." What is a German? Do you know? Pastor Moyan, you don't know what a German is? Hey, but Captain, what is a German? No comment. So indeed, I am stronger and very proudly so. It's always saying, Mukwena, you are part of me, and Africanist that I am, I'm proudly, very proudly, Tsonga. Thank you. My sister Murongwe, and I must immediately claim you much more fully today. You are my home girl. You, like me, are from Outreachville, that great village. And you are the daughter of the Ceres who lived on Seiso Street and were our family doctors. And we met before you got married. And I must just make that public and very proudly claim you. Sebo, Tsaki, Basi, Molombo, Filwe, Sis Winnie, and Brother Dan. It is a great privilege to be allowed to pay a brief tribute to Mwanati, Makwero, Osi Amina, Osi MALULEKE. And I embrace the honor with great warmth. Before I do so, I will observe protocol. The Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, the Minister of Justice and Constitution and Correctional Services, the Judge President of Gauteng, the Deputy Judge President, both Deputy Judges President of the two divisions that we have who are here present. Indeed, the retired Judge President, my colleagues from the Constitutional Court, I've seen them here, colleagues from the Supreme Court of Appeals, indeed colleagues of the High Court, and for all our courts. I also bring you greetings from the Chief Justice of the Republic, who in another form has properly sent his condolences, Justice Mokweng. This, in effect, Sister Morongwa, Mumvuselelo of the judiciary and the legal fraternity. And that is what I'm going to speak about today, about us, about our legal profession, about the judiciary. That is all that he knew. Besides business, that is all that he lived for. And that is all that he served so diligently. So I'm going to use my tribute to talk to my sisters and brothers in the judiciary, to talk to our lawyers at the bar, the sidebar. I'm going to talk to the many comrades with whom we've had a long journey as members of the Black Lawyers Association. And I'm going to end up by leaving you with two thoughts about he who's here in front of us, George Sammy Shane MALULEKE. I won't deal with the personal end of things. We were great friends. I don't have to repeat it. Basani was calling up yesterday memories of us driving hundreds and hundreds of kilometers, Moronga, you remember, Kabonin, Yvonne, driving and driving to the Mutusi farm and the kids sleeping on the floor, and your husband insisting we drive another 300 or 400 kilometers. And there we were, all of us, the kids coughing and crying, and it was quite a thing. Or coming to your home and having those afternoons. Yvonne, Willie, Cabo, Moronga were partners but also friends. When we opened your home there, and everything was just about them, so and the kids joined. I remember Basani drinking a lot of beer, so did my son Bo. I want to use the time to say that I said much of this at his 70th birthday, where again I had the privilege of saying some things, and I'll say nothing about your close togetherness. We had occasion again at the Kunane's wedding to talk about this, where we were together. We were together when we buried Tata Rhinos, that great entrepreneur and that patriarch of this wonderful family. But I come back to it. And I want to talk about our law firm. It is quite well known, and I found the time and the space to write about it and to write about our leader, GSS, in that law firm, and the values that underpinned what we wanted to do. What I really want to talk about is the fact that George was a cadre amongst a good few within the legal fraternity who were ready to indeed prosecute the revolution against apartheid and economic oppression. But he also was one of those cadres who will be called upon to rebuild our democratic state. In other words, he was one of those transitional figures who understood well how to destroy, but who again had the clear sense of how to rebuild and to keep the line. For starters, the Black Lawyers Association. Many at the time decried it and suggested that it was a racist assemblage of lawyers. It was actually a subset of a liberation movement. We understood so well in our heads that we are the ones who are going to be the leaders of the future judiciary. And MALULEKE was in the forefront of that clear understanding. We trusted and we knew that we would vanquish apartheid, that the apartheid government will collapse. And we did everything in our part to make sure it did. And that we did best by keeping all the lawyers of oppressed people together, make it clear that we are a non-racial body, but our first concern is the liberation of those who are oppressed. And demographically, there are black people. We embraced non-racialism, but understood all the time. And he was in the forefront in formulating their thinking. He was a founding father. He sat on the executive. He sat on the Legal Education Center. You heard about that on Thursday. He was on the same panel, the editorial board, together with Deputy Judge President Mujapilu, as we wrote the African Law Review. So our vision was undisturbed. Apartheid would fall, and all governments fall at one time or the other. And that we knew would happen. And our duty was therefore to prepare for the new. And he headed that Legal Education Institute. Let me give you an idea, Minister, Honorable Minister. We gave articles to young black lawyers who could not get them anywhere else. You're obliged to take on article class. He alone trained 30 black lawyers, single-handedly. And Sariti can raise his hand. Sian can raise his hand, Bernard Mwepe can raise his hand, Mujapilu can. But we knew we had the duty to provide articles which were said to be scarce because of apartheid ethic and logic. And we were going to call it out that there was nonsense. We trained lawyers on techniques of litigation under apartheid, and he was in the forefront of that. We had a trial advocacy that ran over 20 years. And it is so, Minister of Justice, that when the democratic government came in, you could see all of my comrades wrapping up what they were doing, wrapping up their practices to join the judiciary. They understood that duty, that transitional burden from a bad government to a good government. And it's no wild claim to say that today, over 80% of judges who are black, who are on the bench, are from the Black Lawyers Association. And we're trained by the Black Lawyers Association. And aren't they excellent judges? Don't they understand their democratic duty? Don't they understand that judging is about patriotism, loving your country for one. And if you love your country, it must have proper democratic institutions. You call out the wrong every time it happens. In other words, in simple terms, good judges go and do justice. That's why they are called justices. Their primary obligation is to do justice in society. And it is with great pride to say that if you go and look at all arms of state, probably the most demographically representative minister, you know the numbers, is the judicial. And every time we talk about what a wonderful judiciary we have, think George, Sammy, Shane, MALULEKE. And in many ways, because of his own convictions, he understood what it is to be a bulwark of democracy, to keep all those who exercise public power in line, to do so within the parameters of the law. Because they are given public power, Deputy President, only for one reason, to do good. Public power is for one reason, to look after citizens of your land. It can't be for any other reason. He was an intellectual, he was thoughtful, he wrote a lot. Masani, you know, he broke into Shakespearean quotations. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it's nobler in the mind to suffer, there he would go. The quality of mercy is strained. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. And he quoted from just about wherever. He'd call out Sankara at just about any minute and moment. He was a learned man. He was a principled man. And he always reminded us of the duty we have. Let me wrap up. The duty was to destroy apartheid, the unjust and horrible regime, and to establish a just society. And those of us in the judiciary must continue to be those guardians who have to look after our people, to protect their rights, to make sure that goodness prevails, as you have always done, and you must continue to do. That we do with patriotism, without favorism, and with deep, deep love for our people. And that's what he was. That's what he represents to us lawyers, to us judges, to us who continue to understand our role for this nation. Makweru, utirile. And makweru, mintiro ya bula. You saw how full it was on Thursday. The great hall full to the brim. South Africans just coming to come and pay tributes. Judges and colleagues coming to pay tribute in order to, in their own lives, to assume those values that he stood for. For me, he leaves me with two fundamental things that are limping today in our nation, Minister. The one is hard work. MALULEKE Asmurunga was a total epitome of hard work. It was Msimang who talked about how, and Willie can tell you, when we were partners, how he would, after a little session of drinks, he would go to office and start dictating all sorts of work in the Supreme Court litigation from like 10 to the following morning at about 3 a.m. Ask Murunga how he would work the whole weekend away from home, but only when he was practicing in Karankua and later in Kempton Park. And he would drive to the spa. Konumuna, who was talking about the spa? Yes. Now, he would go to the spa to go and support Dan and Siswini and them after a full day of work. And if I had anything to do with it, one of the values that I would want to see re-inducted in our lives is a value of hard work. Freedom means no more than the space to do hard work. That's what freedom means. To find the dignity in labor. Justice Kapep. To find the space to be as good as we can be. He did it. He over and over again. Talk about coal sheds. Talk about Shawela back rooms. Talk about he has been there. But what stands out and what our nation needs more than ever before is dedication to hard work, whatever it is. We can't look to the government for every single thing. And we err when we do that. And in my language, because we are our own liberators, we can't look to government all the time to do that. He knew it and prospered even under apartheid and prepared for the democratic rule. The second thing, I think we must go back to something which is fairly basic. Professor Deniko, education. We cannot destroy all the triple ills. Sometimes there are quadruple ills in our society unless we go back and re-induct the importance of acquiring skills of a widest variety. There's no way you can rise to a serious level to make a contribution to society unless you accept that everybody must go out there and find a skill that they can deploy in society. If anything else, those are the two things we should remember him with. But for all of us who are judges, who are lawyers, we should remember him with being the fidelity to the office, the fidelity to our oath, being good judges. Now, and there are ministers here, I'm tempted to say, and forevermore. Because a nation that does not have a good judiciary is in dire straits.
Yes.
You'll remember that. I've said what I wanted to say, and I'm thankful to God that I had the courage to be able to say this. It is quite important for me, and it's important for our judiciary. Somebody asked me, why is it that the South African judiciary seems to be thriving, doing so well? We've talked about training, we have ethical schools, we've got a judicial training institute, we support each other, we encourage each other. All of those things we do. But there's yet another factor that we don't often talk about. The support our people give to the judiciary. The real democratic protection of the judiciary comes from the people. I walk into supermarkets, dankie rechter, vir wat rechter vir ons gedoen het. Jy die sing, hy is a sailor. You come, and you can't judge, but it goes on and on and on all the time around us. Poll after poll has shown the judiciary amongst its public institutions to have been number one in about 5 or 6 polls in a row. Except last year when Tuli Madonsela was number 1. And I felt a little jealous. And therefore it's important that it's about the people, for the people, and we ought to stay on our posts and do as well as we can. We are thankful, George, we are very, very thankful. As I've already said, you've often called me Makweru, but you are the real Hosi. Hosi Maluleke. Wena muti wabango. Wabango. Umuti wabango. Umuti wabango. Mayeke. Ngwanati. Mayeke. Can stand.